So what is responsiveness? That is exactly what this video is about today. I'm going to show you how to make a responsive card, and I'm going to explain step by step how to get this done, because for me personally, I found it pretty confusing at first. I was just like, I don't get it. Hug what? Fill what? What does this mean? Fixed with what? So I'm gonna explain to you how to make it so that you can make it yourself. I think that it is extremely valuable to know how to do this, because when you're making products, you always want things to be responsive to mobile and desktop. You want things to move well depending on the screen size. So this is definitely a really top skill to have in your tool bucket. Tool bucket? Toolkit?
Special thanks to Joseph, my mentor, for teaching me how to make a card responsive. It took a lot of time because I was not understanding or grasping the concept, but now I've finally got it, and I feel like I can explain it to you guys in a way that you would understand as well. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make our picture box here, and I'm going to use my plugin for Unsplash and insert an image. So let's just put pets, and I will put this really funny looking dog. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a couple of labels. So I'm going to use the text tool. I'm going to increase the font to, let's say, 24. I'm going to say dogs because I'm so innovative. And then I'm going to duplicate this, put it underneath. I'm going to make the text a little smaller, and I'm just going to use random text. I'll probably just copy and paste this. Okay, so let's say I've got a bunch of text here. I'm going to bring in the frame size a bit to here. And there we go. So let's pretend that this is our card. I've made all the separate elements, and now I have to put everything into Autolayout. So I'm going to highlight all of these. So you click down Shift and click on everything, and then click Shift A. And now all of these are in an auto layout. So that means that if I don't like the positioning of things, I can just easily move them around. Next, I'm going to add a background. So let's just make it white for now, just to be easy. And we're gonna add some borders. So we're gonna play around with the padding. So let's just put 20 for fun. Okay, I'm gonna put 20, 20, 20, 20. And I'm just gonna leave this centered for now. Oh no, I don't like that. I'm gonna leave it back to the left. Okay, now to fix this, like say I want these to be centered and not this one, what you could do is put this in auto layout as well on its own, and you're going to change it from hug contents to fill container. And so now this will always hug the left, but the rest of the elements in the frame can hug the center. So if I change this now, the dog's title won't move. There we go. Next, I'm going to round the corners a bit. And then what we're going to do is we are going to make this a root component. So it's always good to have a root component, because then it makes it more easy to edit later down the road. So I'm gonna label this to .root dogs, and putting the period in front of root, I think it prevents this from publishing when you publish all of your components. So this is what I'm gonna do now. I'm going to click component, and then I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm gonna make a dark version. So let's invert the colors. I'll change the background to black, and then I will change my font color to white. And this is my dark version. So I'm going to make this a component because this simply is an instance of this, but we want it to be its own separate component now. And the thing that you have to note that because this is an instance of this, whenever you want to edit something, it's good to edit it here because then it'll transfer down to this one. So if I wanted to change this picture, for example, to something else, like the fox, it'll transfer down to the other card. So this makes it more simple and easy when you're making iterations in the future and you've got like a billion cards. You don't want to edit every single individual one. This will help. So I'm just going to undo that because I like my sad dog. Now that we have our root components, we're going to highlight both of these, duplicate it, and this is where we're going to actually be making our component variants. So let's make this a component. Let's make this a component. And I'm going to take away the period because this is what I want to see when I'm looking at my variants and if I ever publish it. So I'm going to say dogs. Actually, I'm not going to label it yet. I'm going to highlight both of these and combine it as a variant first. Let me just make this border a little wider. And now I will relabel this. So this will be dogs. This one will be called, the property will be light mode. Yes. And this one will be light mode. No. So now if I were to click on this variant box, you'll see all the options, light mode, yes or no. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we are going to try to make these responsive. Because right now, if you click into it, the card does not stretch with this border. So what we're going to do is actually click in, and then we're going to double click, and we're going to change this from hug contents to fill container so that the card follows the component border when I stretch it out. And now when I stretch it out, it should follow, and it does. But let's try to make our picture also follow the border. So we're going to change it from fixed width to fill container. So it'll fill the container of this card. Let me click that. And same thing here. We're going to change the text from fixed width to fill container. So now it will follow. Isn't that awesome? Okay. Now, it is a bit of a different story to make the dark mode responsive because the dark one, if you recall, is an instance of the light mode. So we actually have to go down an extra layer. So it's a layer within a layer. So let's just follow how we did the steps for our light mode. So we clicked, and then we double clicked, and we changed it from hug contents to fill container. Now, if I just left it at this, it wouldn't work. So I'm going to show you and drag it. Yeah, it didn't work. That's because the dark mode is an instance of the light mode. So we actually have to double click in to go down a deeper layer and change this to fill container as well. And now when we click and drag, it'll follow. Of course, we need to change this as we did in the first one to fill container, and this one also to fill container. And now both of your cards are responsive. And if you grab your component from the assets panel, so let me just type it in. What did I put? Dogs. I have my root here. But then this is the main component. So we're always going to use this one. So let's say I'm making a UI here, and it's got like 6 different dogs on it. I'm going to duplicate it. And then I'm going to change some of them to dark mode. So right now they're all in light mode. I'm going to put these ones in dark mode, and they should all be responsive. There we go.
You know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for supporting me and the channel. I will see you guys next time. Bye!